Welcome everyone to Kleiner's Kravenarium. I have never been more tempted to cut that short. One of our players, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to embarrass this particular person, was really letting my camera know it was time to hit the button early, like having a great time. And I'm over here because the way this works, if you're not a StreamYarder, is one person who controls the panel, the dashboard, can see the other cameras while they're kind of dimmed out for a minute while the music's playing. And so nobody else sees what the dances or things that are being done. Normally, Lauren is pretty good at being in control of that moment, but this person aced it tonight. Nice job. You know who you are.
Wanted to give someone else the spotlight.
Oh, this would have been you would have been pressed for this one. They were a full animation. But so that was nice. Thank you for that start. Welcome back to Chapter 2, A Box Full of Dreams, and Part 4 with the team. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, I hope.
Woo!
Well,
yeah,
awesome.
Awesome. Good. When we last left off, we had the dog, Brutus, the English Mastiff, backing away from something that it was looking at in front of Cyrus and Adelaide. They could see the dog having this problem, but the man who was kind of covering them with the gun, and the groundskeeper, the attendant at night in the Fur Park Cemetery, was looking over his shoulder, trying to understand what's going on. So we're in that moment there, but we're also in another moment at the opera where Mercy and the team has realized that there are several people in the audience that have definitely come in contact with Faison recently, and the one that they're most interested in because of the look of her would be Ginny Wainwright, the opera singer. And the show is ending, team, so we're going to start there. The show is ending, standing ovation. The whole thing, everybody was excited. Everything went off well. Mm-hmm. The cast and crew, they come out, they do the whole thing. And the last one, obviously, they bring on two of the rousing applause. Everyone turns and points. And here she comes. She saunters out onto the stage, curtsies, makes her appearances, and the curtain goes down. If you were going to try to make your way backstage now, would probably be a decent time to do it, or you go around to the back door of the theater. Again, as circus performers, as performers who have done some work like this, you know the tricks, right? You know where there's a door out back. You know that there's going to be obviously Bilko doors or something to get a lot of bigger pieces into the building. So yeah, you're able to, it's whichever way you want to make the approach.
I'd imagine that flower vendors are probably perched outside, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to give a couple coins to Yesenia, and I'm going to be like, go grab some flowers real quick. We got to have at least a cover story. Right? We want to, get in the door and act appropriate when we're back there until we can corner her.
Got it.
Yeah. And then Mercy and I will make our way towards the back, if that's all right with Mercy.
Great. Sounds fantastic. I'd love to meet this lovely woman.
Give her my arm, and we'll walk slowly, waiting for Yesenia to come back with some flowers.
Okay. Yeah. So Yesenia, you're able to pick them up really cheap. It's the end of the night. So, they're kind of getting ready. If you were going to throw them at the stage, you would have done it already. So most of the older women and the bucket girls that have flowers are kind of wrapping up. So yeah, you're able to pick up a bunch. Pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Make your way back in. And yeah, sure enough, as the ushers and things are clearing the rows and picking up the playbills that were left behind and things of that nature. And nobody quote me on that. I'm not sure playbills were out in 1865. I'm thinking they might have been something similar. Would have been maybe a single sheet, whatever. But yeah, they're picking that stuff up. They're kind of just sweeping. They're lurking around in the lobby near the coat check and stuff. You find Steiner and Mercy waiting there.
Okay. All right,
Perfect.
let's go.
All right. I'm going to lean into both of them, and I'm going to say, she may not know she's Faison touched. Let's keep that in mind.
Got it.
Because we picked up on what Mercy was putting down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, 100%. Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So, all right, you want to make your way to the backstage, or are we going to go around the rear?
Backstage.
Okay.
We know this. We know this game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Let's go backstage.
let's do it. Wait till somebody's not looking, and we'll just sort of slip behind and act like we know where we're going.
Actually, that 100%. And Yesenia, if takes off a piece or two or earrings, and Mercy kind of, takes her jacket and folds it over her arm, all of a sudden your attire appears a lot more pedestrian. So that helps as well, because you're moving around stagehands and stuff. And if you act like, half the time of getting into a place is I act like I know that I belong there.
Right.
Right. So that somebody grabs, Mercy grabs a big handle type thing and carries it. But yeah, you pick something up and all of a sudden everyone's wrong. And normally you can get in pretty deep that way. So you're able to make your way back, and without much effort, you find the stars' dressing rooms. The 3 or 4 rooms that they have set aside for the larger cast members, the more popular ones. And sure enough, her name is on a piece of tape under the star, like it's just written there. They don't have a plate for her. She's here, for now. But yeah, they have her name set on the door, and it's hers.
Okay.
Walking up, I'll have the flowers in hand, and I'll let the ladies do most of the talking as they should. So.
Okay, so you knock on the door.
Yeah.
And it's you hear, "Come in."
So I'm going to open the door and lead Mercy in.
And then let her go.
No.
She drops right to the ground.
Wow. Great. Thank you.
It's always good to have your opening business card as the blind girl.
There
My
you
call.
go.
No, we're gonna lead her in like arm in arm. I've
Yeah.
got the flowers.
Um,
We go in first. Steiner's behind us.
Yeah. So
this is a real Adele situation. Voice doesn't quite match the full frame exactly. Like her Glaswegian is stronger than you would think, even though she sings without an accent. It's not like a Mel Tillis thing where she stutters, right? It's just the simple. But you have that. What are you doing here? Come in. Oh, you poor thing. Come on in. Are you here for an autograph? Are you?
an autograph would be absolutely lovely, but we actually came to, I'm sure you get many of these, but we came to bring you this as a small token of our appreciation for the wonderful performance that you just put on. That was incredible.
Oh, you're being too kind, but thank you very much. It's not one of my favorite operas, but
no?
it's a bit screechy at times.
Well, Mercy can't see, so her since
She's talking to the wall.
yeah, so she hears
Turn
levels
her around.
of audio that we don't hear. So if she says you're wonderful, you're wonderful.
She a
Cindy
dog?
totally has no idea.
The
It's
dog
like a
whistle.
dog.
What did I miss?
My companion is my very verbose companion is right. I do have a wonderful appreciation for music, Miss Wainwright, on account of my condition. And might I just say, your voice is amazing. So I do hope that you'll accept our flowers.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. You can leave them over there. And there's like a pile of like a dozen bouquets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me just, I kind of like shove some over and put mine in pride of place.
Go ahead. Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
You see in shadow and stuff. I like that. Go ahead and make me a. Let's see. Let's do a manipulation. Can be a bunch of things. Let's talk about manipulation. Make it though physical. All right. So it's
pickle.
Agility. We're gonna do an agility check.
Agility.
Yeah.
Several groupings of flowers move deeper into the shadow.
Physique and agility?
It's an agility check. You say,
Okay.
I move the flowers apart and I put mine in a place of pride.
Well, she told the blind chick to put them down. One success.
Okay. You don't topple the table to the floor. You don't
Good.
tip the flowers over. You're able to kind of, but the flowers miss the first time. You pick them up, then you put them on the table. You get the general idea. You're able to do it without being too obvious that you're, yeah. You are blind.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, that's so sweet of you. I have this. She signs a piece of paper and she walks over and takes your hand and puts it in there and she says, "There, you keep that, child. That's might be worth something one day if the stages in London ever accept me."
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Wainwright. I will treasure it always. Actually, if my friends and I acknowledge Yesenia and Steiner. If you are looking to support the arts or support a fellow performer, my friends and I are part of a traveling circus And since you put on such a wonderful show for us, we were wondering if we could put on a show for you in your honor tomorrow night.
Oh, you cheeky bastards! So you came back here to see if I'd come to your little circus, eh?
Your prestige would, and seeing you in the crowd and people knowing that you were going would not only help drive it, but would honor us.
Well, I have to say that I've been approached before to do many things behind the stage, but never a circus. This is a first for me.
Well, all you would have to do is show up and watch. We won't even ask you to participate.
I'm the headlining act tomorrow night.
You make the wee blind girl work, you feckin' bastards. What's wrong with you?
Well, you
Quite
gave her a
talented.
piece of paper she could never read.
I put the ink on real thick so there'd be ridges she could feel. I thought that'd be the right thing to do. What is she on the tightrope? I can't fucking believe it.
No.
Miss Wainwright, I'm the smartest girl in the world.
She's
How
not
do you
lying.
know?
She's pretty smart.
Well,
Yes,
she
I
came-
am.
She came here to me with flowers. That's the pretty smart thing to do.
I got them to match your dress.
I'm going to stand
I'm-
behind her
yep.
and I'm just going to be like,
Mhm.
Yeah, good, because I was going to make a roll. Do they really match the color? But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be a jerk about this. But with Yesenia going, just
Well,
That sounds like Pathfinder rules. Roll to make sure that the flowers match the dress.
no, we're not doing that. Yeah. But yes, so she's like, oh, that's so sweet. Go ahead and make a manipulation roll. Whoever's got the best overall, we'll see. To me, she's convinced. She only need one success. You're buttering her up.
I'm at
oh, go ahead.
6.
I have 8.
Yep, Yesenia can get her to not only
you
show
take
up,
that
but
right on.
she'll actually get her to perform with a knife thrower. Or become a knife thrower.
Oh, that's 1 out of 8 dice.
Wow, they're being real generous tonight with the. Wow, the 8s are not coming through.
I know,
clean.
just like me. My goodness.
Right, that's kind of spooky.
Mm.
So she's like, well, I guess it'd be nice to go out for a jaunt outside of the city for a bit. Where are you saying the circus is?
Just outside the city limits. I provide the location.
I'll make sure that it's correct.
Right.
'cause we gotta keep the,
the idea of the
give
blind.
exactly the idea of
Okay.
the blind one. And I'll make sure I hand the ticket to her because I did bring
Mhm.
some of those with me. So
Are you giving her more than one?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll give her 3. How about that? 4.
Oh.
4. We'll do 4.
Okay, she's like, well, that'll be enough for my escorts tonight. That's very kind of you. Thank you. We'll make sure that we're there tomorrow night. We'll be at the performance. It's a good night. The opera's closed, so that'll be fine.
How fortuitous for us, and we hope you'll really enjoy the performance. We've invited, in addition to yourself, we're looking to invite some other, society people, fellow patrons and lovers of the arts. So it should be a splendid evening.
Do you have candy floss?
Oh, by the bucket load.
Then I'll definitely be there.
And a whole menagerie of oddities and sideshows that you could come and see as well. I'm just trying to evoke something.
Yeah. Besides the blind girl.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
We're all performers.
What do you do?
I have puppets.
Oh, you're a puppeteer.
I am a puppeteer and a weaver of tales.
Interesting. And you, sir, you're part of this circus as well. They said. So, what is your gift?
Yes, ma'am. I never miss with my rifle.
Just your
Marksman.
rifle?
And he does it topless.
Just gotta show her a little bit, yes, ma'am, just the rifle.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am,
Just the rifle.
just the rifle.
Is there something wrong with you, Steiner?
No. Just a thing for
You're
redheads.
sweating. Are you hot?
Just a thing for redheads.
Just a thing for redheads. So
Yeah. Well, listen, it's a thing.
the thing.
She says, "Well, I think I know exactly the people to bring with me. It'll be a real hoot for us all. A nice night out. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I will be sure to tell everyone that we're heading out there tomorrow. Maybe I can try to help fill your tent."
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we
I-
leave, yeah, you better start looking around real quick before you leave.
Oh, yes. As I'm looking, like, I'm going in my pocket to like grab my own flyer to hand it to her because I'm like, you know, this blind chick left me flowers. Apparently she's the smartest girl in the world. Like, I want to drive up hype for myself.
Right.
But I'm also taking the time, like, where is this damn thing in my pocket, to look around. What else is glowing to me, if anything?
So obviously she's out
Thank
of her
you, Kleiner.
costume. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously she's out of her costume by the time you
Mhm.
guys get around backstage.
Mhm.
She's in just something that it's presentable. Like, she's not quite in a full dress yet,
Mhm.
but she's in that stage of getting ready to go back out and make her way home, or to probably not home. She's a performer, probably out to wear something. The only thing glowing is her.
Oh.
Just her.
Her. Like, yeah, like before the clothes were all part of it, but she's definitely got the glow on her. Like her.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I present my flyer. It's, Mercy Clark, the, smartest girl in the world, font of wisdom. Ask her anything. It's
Yep.
all done up.
Okay. She says, I'll be sure to come up with some really good questions then.
Please do.
On our way out, I'll I kind of in our deepest condolences. We understood that you knew the deceased from yesterday. We happened to stumble upon. I had some work. Poor Enid.
Terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. Just shocking that she would choose to end her life the way she did. She was so full of life and so young. I mean, whole world in the palm of her hand, could have done anything. The girl, she was smart and clever and full of wit. It breaks my heart.
I mean, surely it could have been an accident, right?
I don't think so. Not with the way she'd been talking leading up to it.
Mhm.
I think her father and those of us who knew her really well, I don't know, a change came over her suddenly, but I've heard of people saying that mood can bring them to a place of despair, but happened so fast. 2-3 days, she just wasn't herself, and I went calling on her one day, and she wouldn't come down and speak to me. Just gave her apologies, and it was odd. It was always with me. Whenever I had the time to spare, she was always there. But that day before, she just asked her servants to come in, and when I was at the front door, tell me that she couldn't go out or didn't feel up to it, and then she was gone.
Did something happen the day before?
Not to my knowledge. Just like I said, a mood change. Just one of those things, I guess. Women, we tend to be creatures of mood and emotion sometimes, but I thought maybe she had been jilted or had her eye on someone, and maybe they didn't work out. She was just in a sad place, but never thought it was that deep. Never realized how sad she really was.
Hmm.
That is a tragedy. And again, our deepest
sorry.
condolences.
Yeah. It's just happened to a lot of people that I've known lately. 3. Just unbelievable that these young people and with all their lives in front of them have terrible accidents and tragedies.
Did these young people happen to know each other? I mean, surely it's just coincidence, right?
I don't know if Paul knew Enid, but Denise did. Yeah, Denise would take tea with us sometimes when she was in the city.
Hmm.
You don't think they could have gotten into something as a group that would have upset them all and led them astray. Sometimes in our younger years, we can be influenced by people close to us. And
I'm in my 20s. I can still be influenced by people close to us if they're wearing the right scent.
true, but sometimes those influences are not always in a good way.
Well, you're saying that could they have been mixed in with somebody to take advantage of the young? Yeah, it's a cruel world. It's possible, but I tried to mentor when I could, and always had an ear ready for them if they had any concerns or thoughts of, someone taking maybe an advantage or looking a wrong way at them. I don't know, but like I said, Paul may have known Enid, but I was unaware of it. Nay.
Sad nonetheless.
It's terrible.
Well, enough of that. We'll leave you to enjoy your evening.
Oh, thank you. Just going out for some champagne and some afters. Can't keep the men waiting. It'd be bad to not have my name on their lips for a night.
Yeah, I have to get Mercy home to put her to bed. Right, Mercy? Yep, it's nighttime.
Oh, I thought this was the matinee.
I know what time it is.
I thought I'm the smartest girl in the world and I don't know we're on twofers. What is this? I thought we were on the Saturday twofer at 2:00.
Wow, nice.
At least she doesn't tire of being treated like a child.
Yeah.
One day I'm just gonna break everyone's knees or something. I'm just gonna be like, bah, bah.
I'll have the stick ready to go. So when you break it, I'll be like, "Ow,
Start-
that hurt really bad."
I'm a grown up. Try that. That'll work.
I'm 240 fucking years old.
I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, I'm taking my
Oh.
cane and I'm wandering that way.
I'll just poison you all. It's fine. I know how. So thank you, Miss Wainwright. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing. I hope you enjoy the performance tomorrow.
I'm sure I shall. You find your way out. Just like in most movies, now people are recognizing that you don't belong. What are you doing in Miss Wainwright's room? And then they escort you out. They shuffle you out the back door.
I'm just a fan.
Right. I'm just a fan. So over to the cemetery. The dog, as I said, is backed away. The man there who had you at gunpoint turns, and he's like, "Brutus, what's wrong with ye? You're acting daft, boy." Now, you can try to run. Like, he's definitely got his attention pulled away. The whistles are coming, but if you think that your story will hold, and you did a decent job, like you rolled 2 successes, right? So in this situation, he's not looking for you to be prosecuted. He just wants you to be questioned and escorted off.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna hold to the story. I mean,
gonna hold to the
I think
story.
we've done well, and I know the mayor's name. I have the name of a fake aunt that we've been looking for that
Right.
grew up in the South with her, but she wanted to be buried in the old country. And so whenever we come towards Scotland, we look at every cemetery to try to find her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the Bobby, comes in. He gets to the gate. It's locked. The man with the dog hooks him up, and
Wait a minute, though. You said the dog started whimpering. The dogs were whimpering because of the bobbies?
No, the dog was whimpering because something that when it went past you, it went from your right. It ran deeper into the cemetery. As that happened, the dog kind of turned and started to move forward and was like sniffing. And then whatever it saw or sensed, it whimpered and began backing up towards the man and back towards you and his back.
So
he's like this.
Whatever we would have encountered.
Right. One of those, saved by being caught by the crazy nightman and his dog.
Maybe my dice did us some good. Who knows?
Who knows? But
Probably.
did you want to send Oscar to go look and see what might be out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will send Oscar to investigate.
Okay. He scurries off, and again the dog is on the leash now, and he's pulling him. And this older man in his late 50s, early 60s, bundled up, but he's got the lantern. Like I said, the lantern's now down. He's pulling on the dog, trying to get the leash going. He hears the Bobby rattle in the cage, and he's like, Nicholas. He's like, be right there. What? You come with you. The two of you, please come with me. Let's get out of here. I don't know what spooked Brutus, but sir, if you'd grab that lantern for me, please, and we'll make our way over, and we can explain everything, and the fact that I had to fire a shot into the air over here. The dog is just now. It doesn't want to move or run. It's just literally like in that big 85-pound dog is just holding ground, shaking, looking out into the dark.
I walk towards the dog and say, "What's the matter, boy? What do you see out there that scares you? Is it the darkness? Shall we find it together?"
It's got a little bit of drool coming down its face, like off the sides of its jowls. You can see there's like it's lathering almost, and if you put your hand anywhere near it, it would jump. Like just like the dog is totally transfixed by what's out there.
Brutus boy, come back to us.
And he looks over at you.
It's okay, boy. It's okay. Come on, let's go.
Okay. The dog is, he's able to pull it away and kind of break its attention. Like an animal, short memory. All of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm around people again. I'm smelling different smells. I'm not drawn to that one item. You would make your way over to the police officer. He's out there and he's like, what have we here? What's going on? And he's like, I found these two looking around the cemetery, but I believe if you check I just need you to check their story for me.
I fear it's all my fault, and I do apologize, officer. As I said to the gentleman here, my name is Cyrus Boone. I made myself known to your mayor, Mr. McCleats, Justin McCleats, I believe was his name. Very nice gentleman. I run a carnival on the southern side of town. We have come to town, and I had gone to your headquarters to get the paperwork so that we may stay here for a time. Unfortunately, I grew up in the United States with my beautiful daughter here, Adelaide, who is unfortunately a little scared by Brutus there. And my beloved aunt, Sarah MacDill, she was just wonderful to me as a child. But unfortunately, as she grew old and ill, she desired to go to the home country, back to Scotland, where she perished. And so while we wander through the countryside with our caravan and our carnival, I always try to stop one in Scotland to try to, at every cemetery, to see if we might find that wonderful woman that left my life so early.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You had already succeeded with the groundskeeper. He's like, he just wanted you to be, he needed help getting you off the grounds. The cop reminds you, the Bobby reminds you that, it's not safe. He doesn't know what's going on in the United States, but in this country, cemeteries can be very dangerous at night. You could stumble into a hole that's been dug. You could get robbed. You could get murdered. There's people that are lurking, and they have a real crime spree going on, especially right now in Glasgow. This cemetery has been hit many times. So you get dressed down a little bit like you should know better.
I basically just tell him that, we came very late in the day, and, because we have to look through all of the cemetery, time passed before we knew it, the gates had closed. And so we had just made up our mind to just sit it out, and possibly if someone came upon us, that they could help us get out.
Right. Chicken wing.
Yeah.
I have a thermos. You want a piece of chicken? All right. So the gatekeeper opens the gate. The Bobby is, brings you through. He just takes your names. You already gave him Cyrus Boone. He takes Adelaide's name. He writes down the information about the carnival. He's basically just doing his due diligence that if something were to go wrong, you're here and, you can be questioned in the future. Other than that, he eventually he'll escort you back away from the cemetery.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. The Oscar does make his way back towards you, Adelaide. He waits for the Bob. He knows better than to approach and like climb on your shoulder and look at the Bobby like he's Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to steamboat Willie like when you're standing there. But he makes his way back to you, and it's so you're milling about. The officer kind of gives you both a look, and you start making your way back towards the south side of Glasgow and out towards the fields. And Oscar catches up with you, and he's sitting there and he's holding something in his hand.
Oh, Oscar, what have you got? And she leans down with her hands open.
It's it almost looks like dust, or it's very, very small. It's like a seed or dust, like a spore.
A spore.
Yeah. And he's holding it and he's so happy.
Yeah. Well, good boy, Oscar. You've done great. I wonder what this could mean. Did you take it from a grave? Oh, I wondered, was it one of the graves we saw before? Oh.
So he's like,
Wow. Huh, was it Eden's grave? Yes. Oh, thank you.
if you're doing a podcast, he signaled that someone had a grave, then he got excited, and he's been giving cues like touching his nose. He's been doing all these things, which is really hard for a rat because they have little arms and his nose is a snout, so he's kind of. But he gives the idea that he found these things near the grave of Enid Coulter.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, we will take this to Mercy to have her look at it, because it's probably not.
Because she's
No,
the
not
smartest girl in the world.
She'll know what it is, but it'll probably glow real bright for her. So
Everybody makes their way back to the circus. It's just it's probably like 12:30. By the time the performance was over, it's a little after 11. By the time everyone made their way back home, it's 12:30 when everybody reconvenes.
Mhm.
There's a pot of coffee brewing 24 hours a day. The lights are on. They have gas, the lamps, the oil lamps around the cooking tent. There's an evening cook. I mean, right now the cook's laying down, but they always put on a big pot of coffee for anybody who gets up in the middle of the night or can't sleep. Or the clowns who are on a bender. They need coffee like the because the clowns are heavy drinkers in the circus. But yeah, you all get back to the table at around 12:30 at night, and you start sharing some of this information.
Mm-hmm. Well, in excellent news, Glasgow's best and brightest will be at our performance tomorrow night.
I'm so excited.
Oh, how
All right.
wonderful. How wonderful.
Yes.
And she's pretty too. She made
Yeah.
Steiner sweat.
A little, just a little, just a little.
I could see her.
Button up my shirt.
You could see her
Yes,
in full view.
bright as a beacon.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of beacon would it be?
Haven't determined that yet. Would need to. We would, need to investigate that further. But I will say there were several other people in the audience that appeared to be Vason touched or have been in contact with one lately. From the whispers about town, I do believe it's a sculptor and a painter. So like people in the arts, people that oddly enough would have known Enid and the other recently deceased.
We also had a a little bit of a chat, small talk. I did small talk.
It's quite something.
It was really
Did you do it yourself, or did you use one of your hideous little creatures?
I
I mean that
you
in
know,
a wonderful way. They are
I
marvelous.
could have. Oh, I didn't even think of that. All right, I'll make a note for next time.
Yes, words are wise. I do not think it's a great way to make friends, sharing small creatures that speak. At least
Well-
not on the first occurrence.
She, Jenny, knew Enid, and was actually really close to her. And Enid and Denise, which was Denise, I guess another one of the victims or deceased.
Denise
Yes.
Galt.
Yes, Denise Galt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew each other and often had tea at what was that tea place called?
Pruny Pinshaw's Perfected Pot. Where I'm going in the morning, or would that be too obvious? Now that Ginny knows who I am.
It's a public. Well, it's in a public area. There's no. You can just say you wanted some tea before your performance. There's no reason.
Yes,
to,
but if I hear gossip and then they ask about the gossip and I answer.
Well, the chances of her being there for a morning, like 9 a.m. tea when she's going out drinking at 12:30, probably slim to nil. She's probably more of your 4 p.m. tea time.
Okay.
British tea's at 4, right? 2 or 4? 4.
Sure.
British tea time is-
Brits, chime in. When's your tea? Answer: there's never a bad time.
I was gonna say,
It's tea time is like 3 or 4, isn't
I
it?
think that's right. Yeah.
Sure.
it's whenever I stop.
It's mid-afternoon.
It's
yeah,
whenever it's whenever I ring my goddamn bell and they bring it to me. That's my tea time.
Ding, ding.
I'll
much.
Lovely cucumber sandwiches.
I'll get a few hours of sleep and go to the tea room in the morning for some final gossip before my performance.
Okay.
I do want to share with Cyrus and Adelaide, though, as we're turning in for the night. The way that she spoke of Enid was distressing. Enid suddenly took as she called it, a mood change, and it wasn't 2 or 3 days after this mood change that Enid killed herself or something happened. So, we can't make the assumption that whatever we're dealing with here, that they are consciously aware of it. That in mind.
Right. I wonder if that's true for the other victims.
I think it's worth mentioning while Adelaide and I were in the cemetery, unfortunately, we were not able to finish our vigil, but there was a creature of some sort that passed near us. I did not see it. I sensed it. I felt it hide. I saw a shadow, but it frightened the dog immensely. Immensely. He was unmovable until I called him by name and shook him out of it. He wouldn't go near it. He whimpered and drooled.
My goodness.
So there is much more to investigate in the cemetery.
Right. And we did not come out empty-handed. Oscar found this, and she presents the little seed, little spore that was found on Enid's grave.
Gonna look really closely at it. Okay.
Yep.
Can I see it?
It's shadowy, but you're getting an image of it.
Good job, Oscar.
Excellent job.
Did she
rat
touch it?
friend.
Do you touch it?
He literally kisses his.
Who has touched it so far?
I've touched it with my bare hand.
Did you touch it, Mercy?
Oh, well, maybe put it down. No, it's a spore.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was on the grave. I'm not necessarily sure that there would be spores on a fresh grave. So that's questionable. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I wonder if it's a mood altering thing.
Perhaps we put that in a handkerchief or a glass vial or something, and we keep an eye on you for a couple of days.
Do any of us?
You feeling all right? You feeling all right? How's your breathing?
Oh, I believe it's okay. I feel fine.
Inhale deeply.
How is your arm, child? We need to look at your arm and heal your wounds.
Oh, yes.
Would any of us recognize it just by looking at it? Learning check? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Mercy's going to have probably the greatest chance of it. But yes, please go ahead.
8 dice.
Come on.
One moment while I separate.
No, learning, right?
I hope your 8 is better than our 8s.
It's learning? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, spore.
Like book learning.
I don't do that.
I don't either.
Oh, fidoodle sticks. I'm rolling on a new set of.
It's just the 8
I'm
dice thing.
No, I'm in a new location, is what it is, and two of my dice rolled off the bed I'm sitting on, and 8 dice is the unlucky number, folks. That is a 0.
Oh,
I don't know what.
Can any of us roll to
I don't
see
know
if we
what my
recognize
dice
it or
that
no?
rolled off the bed are. No,
Other people need a lot more successes to do it. Mercy could have done it with 2. It's not something that's not like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then I wouldn't get it. I have 3 dice, so I got 1, but that wouldn't do it. I would say.
All you know is it's definitely a seed or a small, a very, very tiny seed or sporish.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we plant it?
Well, the reason the spore concerns me is because spores open up. They generally shoot their seeds.
So Yesenia just said, "Why don't we plant it?"
We
you
should.
said
Put it in a pot.
I swear to God, if that thing creeps into my bedroom at night,
Right. Or 3 months later, we've solved it because something grows. I just okay. I'm not even going to take it seriously. I'm going to bed.
Who
Wow.
votes for
Yeah.
we put it into a receptacle until we figure out exactly what it is?
Yeah.
Rather than planting it because it was found on the grave of a woman who gave herself a steam bath.
I mean,
Hardcore.
Hardcore.
Fair.
I'm very curious, but I suppose that's more reasonable.
maybe we put it into a small glass vial or container that can be sealed so that it cannot continue to grow.
Hmm.
Attach itself to something, get into water, food.
Well,
It's not a gremlin.
it's a seed.
right, but it might germinate based off
Yesenia,
of
do I need
air.
to
don't
explain
know.
germination to you?
I am very aware how nature works.
She's from a Russian agricultural
Okay,
society.
I didn't think I did.
I'm just suggesting if you want to know
Germination.
what it
the act
is,
of moving to Germany. Germination.
you let it germinate.
Germination. I'm going to the German nation.
I was regerminated.
Hey,
All right, so yeah, you're able to secure the deadly spore, the spore that is,
I want it-
potentially deadly.
yeah,
No, I just better safe than sorry.
absolutely, especially with me running, you never know. So
Yeah.
yes, Oscar watches them put it into a vial and seal it with wax, and then carefully walk over to a chest and put it down, wrap it in cloth.
Protective symbols,
Yeah, protective symbols. The rat's like,
sigils.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on little Oscar and our dear Adelaide for the next couple of days.
poor Adelaide's already got enough stress in her life. Like,
Yeah.
she's thinking, thank God I didn't swallow it and bring it home.
Yeah.
Good thing I was hands free on that one. I was ready to go.
If I have
Yeah.
hair falling out, we're not even going to notice. So,
Wow.
So the rest of the night goes by rather uneventful. Next morning, though, Cyrus, you are one of the toughs, one of the the leather. What do they call them? Toughs and
Roustabouts.
Roustabouts.
Yeah.
Roustabouts comes up to you and hands you a business card, and he says, "Some men were around, sir, and they were asking for the previous ringmaster, but Mosley. But I told him that he had passed and that you were here now and you were in charge. And they said they're creditors from Langley and Splooge."
Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for handing me this. It is a wonderful way to start my day. And he puts it in his breast pocket and taps it. I will cherish it always. If anybody asks, you never saw him. Thank you.
I will be in Dublin until the performance goes on. Yeah, he says it's something about fees for the storage of some of our equipment on the, in London on the over the winter time, the winter break when we had made our way back to Scandinavia and Uppsala. So I don't.
Remind me? Did we pick up those supplies that we had stored there in London?
The tents and some of the carriages that we don't always bring with us. The animal carriages we always bring because we have to tend the animals, but there are certain parts of the circus that we've left, knowing that we were going to be doing England this season.
Oh,
We
dear.
supposedly had left in the care of a custodian, and I guess fees hadn't been paid, and that's what they're saying.
I see. And did he allude to possibly selling off those items?
Well, no, sir. We collected them, but when we did it, it was late at night, and Mr. Mosley had suggested that we just take them as soon as we
Oh,
could.
so we did collect them. We
have them.
We have them now. There is nothing more. Well, then we're fine. Then that sounds fine. Mr. Mosley did a good job. I appreciate it. Again, let's keep this private. I think that's the best way to handle these things. I am learning Mr. Mosley's business, and I wish to complete it in the same fashion he would have.
And he leans and he says, "Said something about 35 pounds, sir."
Dear God. Well,
We're closing. We're done.
It's funny you said that because I do believe now that I believe there are some files that I should look for in his old carriage. Let me
I'll kill him.
see what I can find. I'm going on a money hunt in his carriage.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
will tear up every friggin' floorboard.
35 pounds of blood from a stout. Yeah, so the creditors had stopped by. There is some thing that's going on with past
Right.
fees.
They're following us. That's wonderful. All the way up from London. Can you imagine they're just like a town behind?
They caught up now.
Yeah. How wonderful.
Oh, we had a big circus pass through Kleiners. They went that way.
Oh no.
All right. So yes, the next morning comes. The ladies, if they, I don't know what the gentleman. I know what Cyrus is doing. Cyrus is slowly weeping, trying to tear up the floorboards and boom.
And to find 30-some pounds to save the circus.
35 pounds. It's maybe a time to send the clowns into town, do a little dicing. You got a couple of really good what's your call
Not a bad idea.
grifters. The clowns are grifters at times. So, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, is there what would you like to do for the first morning? We don't have a lot of time left this episode, but we can try to get something started.
Tea time.
Yes, tea time. But I had a question about my harm.
Yep.
Is that taken care of overnight, or when does that get taken care of?
Yeah, it can be taken care of overnight.
Okay. So I'm reduced down to no harm?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you only have 2 levels, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think if with a regular 8-hour rest, is it 1 or 2 levels? I have to look that up, but it's one.
It's one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Level a day, yeah.
Cool.
Because you're taking such drastically less damage in this game.
Yeah. What's considered one shot is several hit points in another game, of course.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So everyone, but I guess Cyrus is heading over to Pruny Pinshaw's.
You got it.
Yes.
Let's go.
I've got new eyebrows on.
Yeah, and I put them on this time.
Okay. I take mine off and I glue them to her.
Right. Sharing is
What
caring.
are eyebrows between friends?
Listen,
Exactly.
if she's a true Russian, if she's a true Eastern European, she could probably do several people's eyebrows if she trimmed hers. And that's not Jesus. Why do I say things like that? This is a nice family show, and we have nothing. There are some beautiful people from Eastern Europe. I mean, they are just magnificent.
They tend to have thick hair.
They do have thicker hair.
They
Thank
do.
you.
We're very appreciative for them watching the show.
So if anybody hears that someone Molotov my house overnight, it's probably because of the eyebrow comment, and I do really, really apologize. I am so sorry.
Large, bushy eyebrow.
Wow.
That's all it took.
I'm a unibrow, you son of a bitch. So you make your way to Pruny Pinshaw's Perfected Pot. And the Perfected is Purrfected. Pruny.
Is it cat?
Yes. And it's all the teapots are different types of cats.
Yes.
And there's, oh my God, I can't believe this. And the cups are fine china with cat motifs. And there's about 8 cats that wander the premises. And they're all like really long, like
yes,
specialty breeds of cats. Like she's got a Siamese.
Would there be a dog to speak of on the premises?
Not a chance.
Unfortunately.
You met the big dog last night and it bit your friend.
It didn't bite me. That's for sure.
I said bit your friend.
Yeah. This is what a great development this has been.
Yeah.
I don't care if I get murdered in this building. God damn it, I found paradise.
No,
We all walk in there together.
No, you're not there. You're tossing for money. You're trying to find
I was going to say, because he would walk out and go, "This is a bit much, I believe." he would leave.
I believe I can feel my testicles shrinking back
I'm
into my
going
body.
to come here every morning that we're in Glasgow.
I'm gonna whisper to Mercy as soon as we walk in. I'm gonna be like, "There's cats everywhere. It's awesome.
This is amazing. This is fantastic. Someone grab me a cat."
Now, Adelaide, if you're real careful, you could probably swallow one and get it out for the rest of the team, and then
Yeah.
Yes.
In an odd turn of events,
Wow.
didn't Puritans think that cats were like associates of the devil?
Yeah, but I know
Witches.
better.
at times.
I know better.
And I will say, I think I've left Oscar at the door.
Yeah, Oscar. You mean Oscar like this, with his arms out, holding onto the edges,
Yeah.
pushing him in
No!
from the back like a Tom and Jerry skit? No, Oscar's not going in. Oscar's very afraid.
Holds the door. Go on, go on. Go on,
Go,
go
you
on,
go,
go on.
go.
And then closes it.
I'll
So
see you
there's
back
a
at
list
home.
of about 30 different types of tea that Pruny Pinshaw shop offers. And it's brewed by the pot, right? And then they have all kinds of, at this time of the morning, baked goods. And then there's a luncheon menu where they do small little finger sandwiches and stuff like that. But a woman in her early 50s is behind the counter, and she has one or two assistants. And the place is already at 9:30 a little bit on the busier side. She probably has about a dozen tables from anywhere from 2 to, I'm going to say 4 or 5 that she can fit around it. More 80% full. Like, you come in and you're one of the last groups that's going to be able to get seated until someone leaves. And
Do we recognize anyone?
not at this early hour. The group that you're talking about is probably a little bit more mid-afternoon.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, not really anybody from the group that you know. But all of them are here. People are here.
Right.
And she comes over and you're looking at the list. Make an observation check for me. The people that are here.
Sure.
Gonna try not to roll dice off of where I'm sitting this time.
Okay.
2.
Two's good.
1.
2 off of 3.
Wow.
Do I get a minus because it's is it a visual thing?
It's a visual thing. Yeah.
I have 3 6s.
Whoa.
Do you want me to take 1 die away or 2?
2.
Okay.
2 eyes, 2 dice.
I see nothing.
Very good. Those who can, towards the very bottom, is a tea that's called Dream State.
Oh.
And you're like, that's an interesting name for a tea. All the others are things you recognize: Darjeeling, Earl Grey, a chai, different, and just English black tea, Irish black tea because it's slightly different blend. Like, they're going through all these traditional teas, and third from the bottom is Dream State, and it's the most expensive one on the list for a pot.
How expensive?
Expensive, like quadruple the cost of the Darjeeling, which is, and it's
Right.
Darjeeling, and it's what one was it, Lauren? Silver tip.
Yeah.
Silver tip is like they only pick it at a certain time of year. It's very, very exclusive. It's so this pot is like £6 for the pot for Dream State.
It's like a third of what we owe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, big money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Go
do
ahead.
they have like a local favorite, like maybe a thistle tea?
Sure.
Ooh.
Or something kind of native to the area?
Yeah, I'm sure they have, and they also have like a flavor of the, like, a flavor of the month, which is like an orange pico right now,
Yeah.
something like that, because it's coming into this, the springy time. So yeah, whatever, a thistle would be fine. So you go up there and you can order a couple of scones or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And a brew of thistle. So she'll bring out a pot of that.
Right. Make some conversation. That's an incredibly expensive tea. What sort is that? I've never heard of that before. The Dream State? Just pointing at the
Oh,
menu.
Dream State, yes, it's very expensive, and unfortunately, right now, I wish I could offer it to you, but my brewmaster's not here to do that particular pot. That's a special request. I have to give her a day or two notice before anybody comes in and makes an appointment.
Who is your brewmaster?
Oh, a local woman, friend of mine from years back who traveled to India and learned how to put this recipe together. It's very, very, it's a very popular tea, but again, it's very limited quantities, and it's by appointment only.
Oh, wow.
What would one have to do to get an appointment? Just
Uh,
arrange it with you?
I arrange it with me, pay in advance, and then I would contact her and find out when the next available time she could come in. Usually takes a few days.
I'm sorry. Did she just drop her name? I didn't hear that.
No.
No.
Okay.
Is this
Is it supposed to? I'm sorry. Why is it so expensive? I mean, I understand like it takes a while to brew, but like, is it a is it a special blend that like helps you relax or, has some sort of medicinal benefit?
Uh, it is a tea that will take you places, let you see things and loved ones, and it's a very special tea.
Oh, wow.
And it's all the rage among those who once they try it, they always seem to want to come back. Let me get your scones for you, sweethearts. Let
Oh,
just be
yeah.
a moment.
Are we allowed to?
You can have a seat, please.
Can we pet the cats?
Oh, by all means, I'm then surprised they haven't cried out for you already. And that's where we'll call it for tonight. All right, so we are in Pruny Pinshaw's perfected pot with most of the cast except for Cyrus, who is sitting in a lake of tears, looking for 35 pounds in a cheapskates in a dead man's carnival traveling wagon. But from all of us here at Kleiner's Kravenarium and from the Bardic College, I want to say thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do it all. Team, you're doing a really good job with this one. I think we're onto it already. You're starting to pick up some of the major clues that we're going to have. This is going to get really interesting, I hope, for you guys. There's a lot more encounters, but yet you're definitely on the right path. And I think you're going to find that this all comes together in a weird way. So don't forget, like I said, check out our Patreon. Here's information about that. If you are, you can join. We do all kinds of special things over there. We're planning on doing background stuff for these characters very soon, talking about their pasts and things that are happening to them currently in the show, and that'll be part of it. Plus, you have access to all the other shows we've ever done on Patreon exclusively, like Operation Poltergeist, which was an Octon Cthulhu based out of Call of Cthulhu. We have other things, the Argent Star, Knights of the Argent Star, which is our medieval campaign in Pendragon. So check all that out if you get a chance. We'd love to have you over there, and we really appreciate everyone supporting us. So from me, Raz, and from all of us, I want to say good night, team. And we are the Bardic College and also a Sleepy Buddy production. So until next time, we will see you then. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye-bye.
Night.